Hi everyone, it's Cal. I'm here in my little place in Canada, and I wanted to just pop on and say hi. The balancing is still happening, still learning a lot, learning how to bring both sides of my being, the moon and the sun, into balance. And let me tell you, it is a hard go. But it's going, because that's the only way to it's the only way to really harness your power and live your life. You want to bring all the energy in. You want to balance the energy so that you are connected above and below, and you're coming from a very balanced place when you make decisions, communicate, etc. And trying to achieve this balance in a moment to is a moment to moment feat, but it is something that is worthwhile doing, because it changes everything. It changes everything. It changes everything because you are seeing in unity. And when you are coming from a place of complete and utter unity, you are balanced, which means you're harnessing above and below, healthy and well at all times. And good things come to you when you're in that zone. When you're in that zone, you don't have to articulate what would make you happy, because you're in that zone. So the mother force brings you just things that make you happy. And so it's really worth achieving. There's so much to be said on this. This is what the Kundalini is about. It's about creating, it's about the unifying, and it's about the not even necessarily understanding what's going on, but that does help. But when you harness, when you lasso the stars, and when you root to the earth, and you achieve the unity of your being, and you're able to maintain that, and maintaining it is hard. But once you learn and you get that bite going, then wow, I mean, there's nothing else you need to think about. You just have to focus on riding the bike. That's it. I did want to address a question that somebody had posted, and that was, when I connected to the Father Principle and I couldn't sustain that level of love, I fell back to reincarnate. And I wanted to correct and say, no, I didn't fall back to reincarnate. I fell back to the life I was living because I could not sustain that level of power. The power is coming from the focus, and the love is coming from the focus on love. And that is absolute power. And this could be a topic that has no end. The focus on the love creates power. It actually makes your body tempered steel. It's all about the blood flow. It's all about creating, the more centered you get, the faster the blood flow speeds up. And the faster the blood flow speeds up, the higher the regions of your being you're meeting. And as you keep sort of riding that horse of having a balanced body and having really good blood flow, the higher strong, and building your strength, the more you're growing and unifying and harnessing your being together. It's all about roping the body in so that the body you link the body to the mind, and you are able to keep your body forever. That's what you're here for. And I don't mean the physical body, I mean the spiritual body that lives inside the physical body. That's what you're after. So I could not, when I hit the father force and I connected to the web and I faced the father, and I should say it wasn't just one father, it was the father force, it was infinite fathers, and it doesn't mean it is a male body with a penis. And when I talk about the goddess, the mother force, it doesn't mean it's a female with a vagina. It just means these are the characteristics that we attribute to male are present, and the characteristics that we attribute to female are present. So with the father force, it was nobility, focus, justice, balance, power, even though he is the lesser force than the mother. And sadly, I think my phone is going to die. So if we get cut off, I just want you to know the phone, I got to plug it into the wall. Yeah, I'm not one of these phone people. So I apologize for that. So yeah, when I hit the father force, and this was after super powerhousing in meditation, which I actually do teach, and you start with just 3 easy steps. So you can search the video, 3 easy steps to meditation. Those are the basics that begin you on that journey, and really you just have to keep coming to the table on those 3, and it will build, and your guide will appear, and you will be led down that road. Your guide's waiting for you. Everybody has a guide, or more than one, at least one, but usually many. So the guides are all waiting for you to guide you there. The physical, we're in the physical because this is the place to do it. This is really the matrix. This is the bottom level where the germination begins. And you want to build strength. It's not enough to just be aligned, because the power of your strength, being aligned, is everything, but when it comes to harnessing power, you actually want to build your body. You want to build the blood. You want to work out. You want to focus your mind. You want to do 2 things. And the way it was for me is I was an athlete for many, many, many years. And then I suddenly had this experience where my inner self came to me. I had many experiences before, but I had ignored them. I didn't really know what I was doing, but the time was now. And so I started the meditation. It was probably the hardest thing I ever did, because I was such a movement-oriented person. So to slow that down, also I was ADHD, always being in an environment that was not conducive, or so I thought, to my growth. But actually stress is building you every step of the way. It's not so easy to say it's this or it's that or it's this. It's the whole mechanism of life that is building your body and connecting it to your mind. And of course you're growing your mind, but your mind does not just live inside your head. It actually lives all inside your body too, in levels. And when you do the Kundalini, you harness all the levels. You take the spirit, you take the mind, and you wrap it all together like a spider building with its prey when it cocoons the prey. Sorry to give you this analogy, I can't think of a better one. But that's what we are doing. We are harnessing. And of course, the mother is kind of like, you can't imagine all the stars out there as a web, and she is sort of the dark spider, the web, the bright web of all the stars out there that are all circling. Those are all the father aspect, and that is the father raising the child. But also the mother is there. She is in the background. She is the darkness that you see, she's not all the darkness, she is in that darkness, because her child is in that darkness too, which is you, where you've come from. And so she is supporting the whole mechanism of growth. She is nature, but she is even more than nature. She is beyond nature. She is everything, but in its most fundamental terms on earth, she is nature. She is giving you the chance to become more than you were, and to actually be in this life is a blessing. You're lucky if you're here, because the whole universe is crying to be in one of these circle systems, and all the stars you see out there all have circle systems. You just can't see them. And yeah, so again, to get back to the question, I fell down back to the life I was living because I could not sustain the focus, and B, the love. It was ecstasy and agony at the same time. The focus was massive pain, like a Mack truck being balanced on the front of my skull. But I was determined back then. I was just one hardcore chick. And it broke me, of course, over time. The coming down took actually close to 14 years, and that's what broke me. But I was a pretty tough chick back then, and pretty determined too. So I fell back because I couldn't sustain, I couldn't sustain the focus, and couldn't sustain the height of the focus and the depths of love at the same time. It's those two together that are building you every step of the way. And pain is the mechanism. You learn more from pain if you can accept it than you do from anything else. And I know it's hard to accept. Oh my God, hello. I'm like probably one of the most stubborn people you'll ever meet, and it's learning to discard that stubbornness and be open to all. And that has really been the massive transition that I've been going through in the last 14 years. That's the tough one. That's the aftermath. How do you live with the truth is pretty difficult. How do you live with the truth? Oh my God, it's like the red pill, and what was it, the blue pill? You want to go back to the ignorance. You want to go back to the ignorance because it seems so organized, so laid out, and so obvious. You want, cutting into that. Well, I've been a vegetarian since I was 11, but cutting into whatever you think is great, having that glass of wine or having that steak, but really it's just all bullshit. And the truth is, you're made to unify with God. You're made to have whatever you want. You're made to know the power of love. Love is power. Love is great power. Love is fueling your entire system, and love is receptivity. So it's the receptive force that is fueling your entire system to connect with every part of your being so that you can unify your system. It's a grand system, and it was built by the Father Force. He's the creator, and you've got him to thank as well. Your mother's always nurturing you, loving you, and giving you everything you need. She is a mother, absolutely. The epitome of motherhood. She never leaves you. She's just so in love with you and so wanting to be with you again, and thinks just you're so bloody brilliant. And the Father Force is the adjudicator. He's the one saying, you're not ready yet, or not quite good enough, or so both are good, and both are doing what they need to do to get you where you need to go. So I'm a little bit off track. I'm gonna rewind a bit. So that is why I fell down, not to reincarnate again. I have already done, I'm done with the circle system. I have already done the Kundalini. So forget about the reincarnation. I've harnessed my body, but I can't sustain that height. So I won't go back into the system, but I won't be at that height. I will have to learn to sustain that height once I'm out of this system. I will have to learn and keep building. It's not like you just don't, you know, hit the gong and you're there. You hit the gong and you're in the other world, yes, but you still got to build and practice in the other world, and it's no easy task. The good thing is you can go at your own pace. If you're not ready here, or if you're not ready there, it doesn't matter. You go at your own pace, and that's, I mean, you have all eternity, hello, so you can really do it right. But for being in the mud where we are, I've spent my entire life trying to figure it out because everybody seems so bloody illogical, and everything seems, people are in love with facelifts, they're in love with everything external, clothes, cars. I mean, I understand wanting to feel secure, I get that. But this, and I'm also a woman, so I can understand about, you know, wanting to be beautiful. But the true beauty resonates from within. And when you get in alignment with that true beauty, everything wonderful comes to you, and the system moves faster because you are in a more receptive place. Now, I probably have about 30 seconds, so I just want to say, I understand you had two